you ever played Ultimate Custom Night and thought to yourself, what if this was playable? What if it was purple? What if it had more furries? Well, if I just described you strange little critter, then do I have the game for you. Too Many Nights is an Ultimate Custom Night style game released by itdeer on January 12th, 2024. And as the self-proclaimed biggest fan of the game, I feel as if I need to explain it in way too much detail, so grab a snack, sit down, and let me yap. The first thing you see after hitting start is a character select screen, where you have a total of 12 playable characters to choose from, but initially only the first 5 are selectable. The 5 playable characters are Michael, who doesn't do anything, Elizabeth, who makes the game easier but less rewarding, Evan, who makes the game harder but gives more money, and Cassidy, who cranks the difficulty all the way up and only has 1 life. As for the locked characters, Henry is unlocked by beating at least 1 night with every character. He provides more options when selecting enemies but forces you to add more. Gabriel is unlocked by having at least 2 penalties for Freddy active. You'll get a shop every night, but characters come with built-in penalties. Jeremy is unlocked by running out of power and beating the night on at least night 3. You'll start with 500% power, 5 lives, and shorter nights, but as a trade-off your power carries over through every night. Susie is unlocked by dying to Chica twice and then beating the night. You'll recover a life every night, but enemies start at their maximum aggression. Briss is unlocked by holding at least 100 coins at once and ties your lives to your money. 50 coins equals 1 life. Fitzgerald is unlocked by making it through 5 nights while only picking the leftmost enemies and penalties, and he randomizes all enemies after every night or after every death. Sally is unlocked by being a knight with the Percy and Rowan at their max aggression and incorporates the Pal Percy into the game. Finally, Cawthon is unlocked by beating at least night 3 as every character and allows you to play as 3 characters at once. Upon selecting your character, you'll be brought to a screen with 7, or if you're playing as Henry, 10 characters. You're asked to select 3 characters who will be your antagonists for the first night. Hovering over the character will display their information such as name, mechanics, and even their pronouns, which is a nice touch if I dare say so myself, and I did just say so myself. It'll also pull up a screen which shows a brief demonstration of how to deal with the character, which honestly is one of the best features you could ask for. Your lives are displayed above the enemy selection as well as your character, knight, and fast coins. On nights 2 and onward, you'll see a blue inventory tab in the bottom left which displays enemies and their aggression levels, penalties, and items from the shop. After you've selected all the necessities to start the night, the big green go button will appear in the bottom right corner. Once you click on it, the night begins. After dismissing the controls, you're put into the office to fend for yourself. In the bottom left corner of your screen, you see your power as well as the amount of power your doors are using. Similar to the doors in Five Nights at Candy's, these doors drain exponentially more power the longer they're shut, discouraging from, doing that. In the top left corner is your time, which goes up by 1 hour every 15 seconds, 13 if you have the early out modifier, and 17 if you have overtime. In the top right corner are your fast coins you've gathered throughout the night, and if you have them active, the door indicators will appear in the top center. You start with 100% power, or 500% if you're playing as Jeremy. Using the doors, cameras, and flashlight all drain power unless you have the flashlight batteries modifier, which will disable flashlight power drain. Running out of power will trigger a blackout cutscene, which kills you after only a few seconds. Pulling up the cameras, you're met with a 12 camera map. There's the entrance, dining room, stage, kitchen, ticket booth, arcade, storage, left and right hall is maintenance, and the left and right vents. All of these cameras will be significant with at least 1 character in a given run, so it's best to memorize which one is which. Holding space in the camera will activate the camera's flashlight, and moving your mouse away from the map will make it partly transparent. The mask is pretty self-explanatory. The only difference between this mask and the one from, say, FNAF 2 is that you can only use it so many times depending on both your character and the attacker. The mask's lives are displayed in purple hearts at the top of your screen once it's equipped, and once said hearts run out, you can no longer use the mask. You can use the doors and flashlight while the mask is on, and there's no characters in the room, however, cameras will still be inaccessible regardless. Every so often, you'll be presented with either a shop or penalty selection. The shop allows you to purchase from a selection of items, which all benefit the player in some way, shape, form, or fashion. You pay in fast coins, or in some cases lives, both of which will be displayed in their usual spots. Alternatively, I'm gonna f***ing kill myself. Alternatively, you may be presented with a penalty selection, which forces the player to select a penalty that either affects a specific character or the overall gameplay. Unlike the shop, you have to select the set amount of penalties the game gives you. If you're playing as Cassidy, shops will be disabled and you'll instead have to pay to remove either penalties or a character altogether. Now, what would an Ultimate Custom Night style game be without its characters? This game has 46 different characters, each and every one of them having a unique mechanic and design. So, that said, let's code every single Freddy starts at the stage and heads to the right hallway. Once he gets there, he won't leave, so you have to watch him to send him back to the stage. The stare down penalty makes it so watching him only pauses his movement, which makes him slower in turn and you don't have to keep the cameras up to watch him. Mad Freddy makes it so you have to look at him for longer, Branch gives him a chance to go down the left hall, and Invisifred makes him invisible but audible, and Nuh-uh makes Freddy force the door open should he reach it. Bonnie and Chica will start at the stage. Bonnie goes to the left door and Chica goes to the right. You have to watch him on the cameras and close the door to send them off. Cutting shortens their path, Quiet Steps makes them silent at your doors, and Flipside will make them go to the other door after dealing with them. Foxy hangs out in the ticket booth. Keeping the camera on him, whether it's on or off, stops him from running to your left door. Instant Foxy makes him start the night at his last stage, Henhouse slows him down but makes it so the camera has to wait up to stall him, and Haywire makes him charge to the other door after your left. The Mangle starts in the ticket booth and heads to the vents. Once they get in the vents, you have to put the mask on and wait for them to leave. Anger Management makes it so watching them makes them faster, Aggressive Mangle makes it so you have to put the mask for longer, and Slithering In causes them to get in if you look at them while they're in the vents. Caroline starts in the arcade, where you have to wind her music box similar to FNAF 2. If it winds down, you have to find her on the cameras to send her back. Winding down slows down the music box's wind up speed, moving box speeds the winding speed but moves the box every time the camera's pulled up, muted music removes the indicator that she got out, and Show Stealer gives you less time to find her. Oh, and Last Stand. Last Stand triggers are automatically 6 AM where you have to find her to end the night. Lizzie's Biddy Babs may enter your room while your camera's up. Shine your flashlight on them before they call her in. Speedy Bud gives you less time to react, and Help Wanted makes them harder to find. BB occasionally spawns in a random camera with a sound cue. You have to shine a light on him to get rid of him. Mute BB gets rid of the sound cue, I'm Moving makes it so you have to find him twice, and Aggressive BB makes it so you have to shine the light on him for longer. Sparky will hide in the storage room. Stare at him to prevent him from getting out. If he gets in, he'll make you use the mask. Mad Sparky increases the time you have to look at him, Sparky Speedy makes him faster, and Aggressive Sparky increases the time you have to wear the mask. Percy will gradually approach the window. Once he starts knocking on it, shine the light on him. Aggressive Percy makes him stay at stage 3 after dealing with him, and Mute Percy removes his sound cue. Here in one of the 4 corner rooms, you can use the radar to see where he is. Once you've found him, you got to shock him to get rid of him. Aggressive Rowling gives you less time to shock him, no radar removes the radar, and less shocks give you 2 less shocks, stacking for every one of them you have. Nailed it. Maple will be in the ticket booth with a sign that has a number on it. You have to flip through the cameras and collect that many pledges, which you must collect before 6 AM or it will kill you. Early Killer causes it to kill you at 5 instead of 6, stacking for every one of them you have, and Hidden Counter makes it so you just have to guess how many plushies are left. What are you doing here? How did you get here? Get out! Anyways, a pair of scissors will appear in a random camera. Once Noelle shows up in your office, you have a limited time to find the scissors before it makes you put the mask on. Pull down makes Noelle put your camera down, Aggressive Noelle makes it so if you don't click the camera with the scissors, it'll attack, and Crazed Teddy makes it kill you instead of putting on the mask. Melatonin starts in the dining room. Once it moves, it'll be invisible, but you'll hear it laugh. Its laugh is panned, and after its third laugh, it'll attack. Switch Up randomizes the times it moves. You have to check the dining room camera to see how many times. Unpan makes it so only the first laugh is panned, forcing you to memorize where it went. Lydia will be in a kennel in the ticket booth. Once she starts slamming against it, you have to go to its camera and hold the lock. The longer you wait to deal with her, the less time it takes to cool down. Mute Lydia will cause it to make no sound. A top dog makes you hold her kennel shut longer. Amber will be at the entrance. Occasionally she'll hold up a card, and you have to click the corresponding symbol. Follow Suit makes them play multiple cards in a row. Siege will wander into random rooms around the building. She'll force you to put on the mask if you look at her for too long. Insta-Siege will make her instantly get in when you look at her, but you'll get a monitor that tracks her movement. Aggressive Siege makes you keep the mask on longer. DSOM? I don't... DSOM will walk between your 2 doors. Close whichever door he tries to get into. Quiet DSOM silences its footsteps.
This is an intermission because this is seriously like crashing my editing software.
Roby will be in your office on a reboot loop. Once his timer runs out, pull up the camera, put on the mask, or else he'll kill you. Mute Roby gets rid of his sound cue, and Awoken Roby makes him stay away longer.
You two? Get the hell out of here, man.
Alexis behaves similar to CG, however you have to watch her before putting your camera down. Aggressive Alexis makes it so watching her for too long causes her to attack, Sneaky Ghost keeps her invisible for about a second but gives you money to start the night, and Crazed Ghost makes her kill you instead of putting on the mask. Onion has a chance of appearing on a random camera and running to either the left or right, and you have to close the corresponding door. Closing both doors will drain power. Power Eater makes Onion drain more power, and Layered makes Onion attack several times in a row. T Generic will start in the entrance and every so often will display an arrow showing which vent he's going to. Watch him in the corresponding vent to make him go away, otherwise he'll get in and make you put on the mask. Glitched may cause him to switch directions, and Crazy Robots makes him kill you instead of doing the whole mask thing. Kaido works similarly to T generic, but he'll charge down your doors instead of going into the vents. Camper makes him stay at your door for longer, For the Weak makes him skip his first stage, and Indecisive gives him a chance to change which door he's going to. The Ink Monstrosity will start in your room and will slowly descend from the roof. You have to shine your light on them to send them away. Stubborn increases the time you have to shine your light on them, and Head Start gives them a head start. Crazy. Robo Popcakes will sometimes appear on your monitor and make you align her face with the outline. X equals X minus 2 gives you 2 less seconds to react. Entity 12 may appear in either storage or maintenance and make their way to you. Watch them to send them back. If they get in, they'll do the whole mask thing. Aggressive Entity 12 makes you keep the mask on until the end of the night, and Run Killer makes them less aggressive, but if they get in, they'll stay in the office for the rest of the run. Candy appears in the cameras. Collect the candy and feed it to Mira, who hangs out in the kitchen. Savory Tooth makes less candy spawn, Small Places reduces the amount you can carry, and Sweet and Sour causes sour candy to spawn, which will remove a candy from your counter. The Ringmaster wanders around the building. If you see him pull the camera down, he'll make you do the whole mask thing. Mask Magician makes him do the whole mask gimmick anyways, but it's shorter and won't damage the mask, and Crazy Magician just makes him kill you. The entity will sometimes appear in either the kitchen, storage, or maintenance room with a sound cue. Fake clones will appear in 2 out of the 3 cameras, so you have to figure out which one is real and stare at them to send them away. Get Your Glasses makes it harder to tell the clones apart, Mute Entity removes a sound cue, and Deadly Clones makes watching the clones for too long to kill you. No VA spawns fake cameras. Just don't click them. Malware makes clicking the fake cameras instantly kill you, Spamware causes more to spawn, and Adware spawns ads on your camera that you have to close or they'll force you to a fake camera. Moldy has a chance to appear in your office after pulling the camera down. All you have to do is shine your light on him before he does the mask thing. Aggressive Moldy makes it so you have to shine your light on him for longer, and Crazy Bacteria makes him just kill you. Rita will start in the arcade sleeping and will have a timer above her showing how long before she leaves. Shine your light on her to reset the timer. Aggressive Rita increases the amount of time you have to shine your light on her, and Cheeky Rabbit makes her move faster the longer you haven't watched her. Oral will appear at either door throughout the night. Shut the appropriate door to make him go away. Blinding requires you to shine your flashlight on him first, and making sure requires you to have the camera down before he leaves. Shrimp food will occasionally spawn on either side of your desk, and you have to close the corresponding door. Big Shrimpton gives Big Shrimp a chance to spawn, meaning that you have to close both doors, and Small Shrimpton gives it a chance to be open, meaning that you have to close the opposite door. Worm will head into your office from the dining room and will wait at your door until it's open. Once it gets in, you have to keep your cameras up or your mask on until it leaves through the left door. Snail makes it take longer to leave your office, and Digger makes it add another bar of usage while it's waiting at your door. Silo and Bob will start in the dining room and head to the vents. If Silo's in the vent, you have to watch him, and if Bob is in the vent, don't, or they'll do the mask thing. Crazed Sons makes him kill you instead, and Eclipse makes it so if one gets in the vent, the other will be invisible. Magi will run between the left and right halls throughout the night, occasionally announcing his attack. Once he does, you have to close whichever door he's at. Reach Around gives him a chance to announce a surprise, in which case you have to close the opposite door, and Do It Myself makes him dash to the opposite door after you fended him off the first time, and Invisimagi makes him invisible, forcing you to rely on sound cues. Mallory starts in the ticket booth. Ever so often, she'll hold up a number of fingers, and you have to shine the light on her that amount of times, otherwise she'll charge either of the doors several times. Ambidextrous increases the amount of flashes from 1 to 4 to 5 to 8, and DoorDash increases the amount of times she charges the door. Roy starts in the dining room and heads to your office. Shine your light on a nearby camera to lure him away. He makes a sound when he moves. Aggressive Roy increases how long you have to shine the light on a camera. Silly starts in the dining room and heads for the vents. Once he gets into the vents, you have to shine the light on him. Aggressive Silly makes your flashlight less effective against him. When you pull the cameras down, Bob might appear in the window and run to either door. Closing both doors drains power. Layered Square makes her attack several times. Bob Spawn makes it so they can spawn with the cameras down, and Force Down makes her force your camera down. Rabbits will run into your office. Click on them to collect them and feed them to Venus in the kitchen. Rabbit hunting makes the rabbits faster, depopulation makes less of them spawn, and Wanderer makes Venus wander around, and Mako makes Venus's friend, Mako, spawn in your office. Clicking him will make Venus come kill you. Keurig starts in the ticket booth and goes to the right hallway. Before she makes her way in, you have to use the button in the ticket booth to call it in yourself and use the mask on. Rising Aggression makes it so the closer Z is to your office, the longer you have to use the mask, and Call Tracker randomizes the position of the call button. Ellie goes to the maintenance room to chew on the wires. When she goes into one of the halls, you have to open the door and shake a box of snacks to lure her in. Shaker makes it so you have to shake the box for longer, Power Chomper makes her drain more power when banging on the door, and Windscape makes her instantly go from the left hall to the right hall without being visible in the window. Owl starts in the dining room and heads to your office from the right hallway. There are specific cameras with buttons on them, and once he gets into that camera, you have to press that button to use an ejection to send him back. Quiet Omelet silences his sound cue. Single Take makes it so you can't eject the same room twice in a row, and Demon makes Omelet's friend and Demon walk around the ejectable rooms. Ejecting the demon, it will kill you, so you're given a button that moves him. We're keeping that. It's late, man. To finish this off, we have Swagman. He wanders around the cameras, turning the camera he's on yellow. You have to watch him to keep his swagometer up. Swagalicious makes him move faster. Endless Swag makes it so if he gets in, you have to wear the mask for the rest of the night. And Eye of the Swag makes his swag meter go up slower. Overall, this is a great game. It has so many creative characters and mechanics, and much unlike, the game it was inspired from, it feels more like it's focused on skill than luck. On a scale from 1 to 11, I give it a totally not biased 12. You should go download it. The link will be down in the description.